Okay, guys. I'm back apparently with my second video ever, and of the day. So I'm really excited about the first one. I really had to get that off of my chest. I realized, I'm kind of full of all of these love story. I think a lot of us are full of these, love stories that we just kind of play back in our minds. And there was this guy. I guess I'm just gonna jump right into the story. There's this guy that I went to high school with. For all of you that don't know, I am 24. I will be 25 years old next month. I know I look like I'm about 18, but I'm not. I have three children. I was married. I'm divorced. Yeah. It's a long story. It's another story for another day. But so this guy kind of had a crush on me, like in high school, like all throughout high school. Actually, he was never really quiet about it. He was a little reserved, but for the most part, he was pretty social and out there. So he kind of, I knew, we could just say I knew he had a crush on me. Um, but back in high school, I don't know, I'm still coming into parts of me. But in high school, I was just kind of, I didn't know who I was, what I wanted, and what I wanted to be identified with. And I can honestly say at the time, I couldn't appreciate him for who he was. Um, I dated a couple of assholes, and he was really sweet to me, really nice to me. And when I think back on it, I just regret all of it. I just wish that I was in the mindset that I am now to be able to appreciate him as an individual. Um, and I liked him, I liked him, but I don't know what it was. I think I was afraid to like him. I think once I, publicly, um, let people know, hey, I like him, that's what I was going to be identified with. And at the time, I didn't know what I wanted to be identified with. I didn't know what I wanted or who I wanted, or and he was kind of this really sweet nerd, and I really liked him. I couldn't step outside of myself or who I was pretending to be. And I wanted to be someone else for so long. But I just wasn't, I just never was. And I think he saw me and he kind of realized that I wasn't like a lot of other girls. I think he saw right through me. And I ran for the hills, baby. I ran from him, and I regret it. And he's like kind of held this idea with him that we would be together, and he was always there, like always there for me. Even though we would talk on and off, he was just kind of my hero in a sense, because I dealt with a lot of assholes. I got married to an asshole. I've dealt with men that have put their hands on me, and he was just always like my peace. He was like the room you go to in your house where you just close yourself in and shut everything out. he was that for me. And he never, well, until recently, he never pulled away, you know. Um, but I've always felt something for him. He's just I don't even know how to describe him. He is just everything to me. Like really. But he had this crush on me. He's had this crush on me for a long time, and for years, maybe about 6, 7 years, we're talking here, since high school. We graduated, I got divorced, and we still text to this day. Like, he texted me this morning, actually. We've been texting today. But recently, he's just kind of been pulling away because, I've gone back to my ex. I've ended the relationship, just like, boom, just, I don't feel like I can do this. And he works a lot, he works a couple of different jobs. And, well, at the time, that's what he said. I really don't know, which jobs he works and how often, or, whatever. But, he works a lot. He has a lot of responsibility, and I wanted to understand that so bad, but I just couldn't. I couldn't understand why he couldn't make time for me. And I didn't want all of his time. I just kind of wanted to feel important. I just kind of wanted him to make me feel like he would always make room for me. Like, because I did this for him, and, he probably doesn't know this, but like I said, I have kids. I have 3 children, and I'm running around with them all day. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm washing, I'm, picking up toys, cleaning up throw up, changing diapers, we're going outside, changing clothes. I cook 3 meals a day for them. And their father, he just I don't even want to get into that, but and I juggle, my kids and my phone. And it's not everybody that I do this for, but for him, I would dry my hands while I'm washing dishes just to text him back because I want him to feel important. But I don't feel like that's something I should tell you. That's not something to, hey, well, I do, I make time for you. I do this, blah, blah, blah for you. I just do it because he's important to me, but when I actually fell for him is when he just started acting really weird with me. And in a way, I kind of felt it would come because I had been a lot, resistant. There had been a lot of resistance with me because I was, either in a relationship or talking to someone else, and we were just kind of friends. It was never my intention, though, to put him in the friend zone. I felt like I had things I needed to handle, and I felt like a lot of my relationships, I wasn't done with them. I still had things I had to handle, and I was still in a vulnerable place. And I even, sometimes felt like I wasn't worth him. I wasn't worth someone as kind-hearted as him, and because I had done my share of dirt. I've done my share of dirt, and I'm not gonna make excuses for it. I've been in places where I just want to give up. I just didn't want to care about love because I didn't feel like anybody cared about enough about me. And the moment that I pushed everyone aside and yeah, I'm like, I'm here and I'm about to freely express my emotions for you. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. I want you and I want to show you that I want you. And he's been talking about marrying me since I've known him for 7 years. And I'm gonna make you my wife. At one point we were even like messaging, sending each other like wedding dresses and like, oh, I like this one. Do you like this one? A lot of people talk about marriage when they're in a relationship just because, oh, I want you to have my baby, I want you to be my wife. But it wasn't on no shit like that. Like it was, I want to marry you. Like I could see myself with him and it got so bad. Oh, so bad to the point where like I was with someone and I would lay in the bed with him, but I would be thinking about the other guy, the one that had the crush on me. And this was a constant thing. It went from sometimes to every day, but it was never a period of time in my life since I had known him that I didn't have these flashbacks of what we could have become and what I wanted to be with him, but I was just too afraid to. And guys, I am paying for that today. I'm paying for it because I didn't just fall for him. I have loved him for years. Like, I've loved him for years. And he told me he loved me. I really didn't know. But at the point that I started to confess my love for him, I wasn't really sure if he felt the same way. But I didn't care because, like, in my mind, he had waited for me. He never called me a bitch. He never hung up in my face. He never, just was dirty and nasty and mean or evil or anything to me. If anything, all he did was not respond to me. That's it. He just didn't respond to me. That's all he's ever done. And, anybody else that I have talked to, when they're feeling some type of way, they're very quick to call you rude names. And the guys I've dealt with, or do things that are just nasty and mean. And like I told you in my first video that I did today, yeah, he was just like, oh, it's not gonna work. Bye. I'm like, okay, but yeah, I mean, the only thing he ever did was like send me a text and like, what's your problem? But that was nothing. Like, that's nothing. But yeah, I just, and this is another thing I've just kind of been keeping in for so long. And I think he took a piece of my heart too. And I want to say when he left, but he never really left because we still talk every day, but it's about nothing. Good morning, good morning. How was your day? It was fine. How was work? It was fine. There's no substance to it because I feel like what he felt for me died. And a part of me, is it wrong that I feel like I deserve it? Like I deserve for him to be angry with me and to resent me and to be curt with me and, possibly be moving on, in the background while he's texting me. Like, that's the feeling that I get from him. So, um, I've cared about him. I've loved him for a long time, and he hurt me really bad, really badly. And I just kind of go day by day pretending like I don't care. I pretend like it's nothing. It's nothing, it's nothing to me. And I still meet people, like the last guy that I could potentially see myself with and fall for and have fallen for, have failed for, I'm sorry. And now we just kind of text. It's kind of tragic to me because I started to see my life with him. I started to, take in parts of his life and like his favorite movies and things that he likes to do, and like even sometimes I would sit down and watch his favorite movie, you know. Okay, we had a little interruption, but yeah, I'll just watch his favorite movie, or like I'll be going about my day and he'll just randomly pop into my mind, and I just wonder like what happened, what, this is what I don't understand about guys. Like, say what you mean, like say how you're feeling, don't text me. Like, that drives me freaking insane. And that's another thing, like he would just text all the time, just text. I'm like, when are you gonna set time aside to actually call me? And like, since we've been talking here recently, I've gotten maybe like 4 or 5 total phone calls from him within months, and a part of me, I just kept hanging on and holding on and thinking, maybe he'll forgive me and come around, and things will change. But I don't know, guys. I just wanted him to call and just say, I know you love me and care about me and throughout the years, blah, blah, blah. But, I want to move on, or, I don't feel the same way, But I could literally sit here and write a paragraph about how I feel for him, and I'll send it to him and he'll act like he never even got it. And now this cute little nerd, this this guy that's always been so sweet to me and always been there for me when I'm like at my lowest point, like I'm lashing out, I'm screaming, I was suicidal at one point. I wanted to give my baby up at another point, like these are all things that I actually had to go through, and he was there, for all of them. And there's no replacing that. There's no replacing that or people like that, and I regret it. I should have held on to him the moments that I was letting go, but at the same time, I can't read his mind. I can't read his mind. I don't know if he hates me. I don't know if he loves me still and he's putting up a front like I front, or, if I should just move on. So I kind of just go with the flow, and I just tell myself every day to love the ones that take the time to love you. And, you know, it is what it is, at this point. It's devastating. I've kind of gotten to the point where, I'm kind of numb to it. I still care though, and but I don't think, he's ever gonna actually invest his time into me. Maybe we are on different paths, maybe we're of different beliefs. Maybe we, are, maybe he just feels like I'm not the one. But I am, I'm the type of person where if I'm considering you as my partner, I'm going to accept all parts of you. There's good and bad in every person. We all have the two wolves. If any of you have ever heard that, the story of the two wolves, we all have the two wolves, the good and the bad, and the one that wins is the one that you feed. So, I'm the type of person that I'm willing to accept you for, where you are, as long as you have the mentality to grow, as long as you have the will, you want to do something with your life, you want to go in business, or you want, because I'm picking my life up, back up where I left off, before having children. I had all these goals and dreams, and I threw it aside for the people that I was dating at the time, one of which I was married to, and I sacrificed a whole lot for him. I did a lot of things I would never have done. I never wanted to do, I did with him. And he's a whole nother chapter. Like, he's about 30 videos. But yeah, so, I was willing to accept him for everything that he was, for everything he believed in, and everything he wanted for himself. I was willing to be behind that and support that. And I wanted to be more than a friend. I always did. I just didn't. I think maybe he started to get the feeling that I was being phony, but I just didn't know how to go about it, because I'm not good at hurting people. I'm not good with breaking up with people. Like, I'm still breaking up with my ex to this day. Like, and we haven't been in a relationship for months, and like, he still texts me every day with the same thing, and I have to find new ways, new and more creative ways to tell him the same thing. I can't live my life like that. I can't do it. But I think I'm just too nice of a fucking person, to just lay it all, like. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at all. I'm not just, like I said, we all got two wolves. You just have to learn to balance them out. But yeah, him and the other guy, I was so willing to meet them where they were and to see where we could possibly go. And I just been walking around with all this, with all of this hurt and neglect. I've been feeling neglected for a long time, and it started before my ex, and before my ex, and before a guy I liked became my best friend, and before high school. And it was at home with my family, and I didn't fit in. I didn't like the movies that they liked. I didn't watch the movies that they watched. I didn't dress like my sister dressed. I expressed myself in whatever I put on. I was crazy and wild, and I was this free spirit. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at society, and everybody wants to tame Jessica. I'm supposed to fit in. I'm supposed to look like them and be like them, but I wasn't. And for years, I tried to fit myself into this little box, and I held myself back from a lot of things doing that. So I still have lessons to learn, but yeah, it definitely started at home. I got a lot of tough love from my father and my mother. I don't remember them ever kissing in front of me or hugging in front of me or saying they love each other or saying they love me or kiss and hug me. Not that they didn't love me, because I knew that they did. It's just I was so sheltered and emotional and sensitive. I knew I was an empath way back then. I just didn't know what it was, until now. But I was just different, and I was in a world where everybody around me was the same. And I didn't know what love was. I wanted to know what it felt like to fall deeply in love with someone. And I just kept getting my heart ripped out, and I never gave myself time to heal. I was going from one relationship to another, and it really did some damage, and I'm still recovering. And if he ever watches this video, let's just say hypothetically he watches this video, like, this is about to be like my thousandth time saying this to you, but I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know I was hurting you. I didn't know how love worked. I didn't know who could love me. I wasn't sure about anything. I was breaking up with guys to get with other guys that was telling me they wanted to love me better. I was so naive and so, goodness, easily, influenced by words. And I think in part I still am. So, I have to be careful what I believe. But I don't think I can ever, you know what, I'm about to forgive myself right now while I'm doing this video for the way that I treated him, because I always tell people, you can forgive yourself. I mean, you can forgive other people, but you always leave out yourself. And I think it's important to do that, because I haven't forgiven myself for that, just because when I fell for him, I got a dose of what I had put on him. I got a dose of my own medicine, I guess I could say. But I'm forgiving myself for that, because at the end of the day, I still want love. I want it, and I want to have room for it to grow and to live. And there's no place for love to live if I am holding on to all of this extra baggage. So I forgive myself, and I hope that you forgive me if you ever come across this video and you know who you are and you know your name. And I'm trying to think if I could drop like a hint. You know who you are. You know who you are. CC, I guess those are your initials. So yeah, so I just wanted to get that off my chest. That's kind of something else that's been really on I have a lot on my mind today. I may be making these videos throughout the night, But I hope you guys, receive the peace and the love that you deserve. Don't ever think that you don't deserve it, because we've all, been there. We've all been hurt. We've all hurt someone else. But you have to forgive others and forgive yourself, in order to be open to receive the love that you need, that you desire, that you want to grow with. And balance yourselves, love others, love yourself, because karma is real. And this is my testimony. This right here is proof that karma is real, guys. And I'm stayed up and cried many a nights about stories like these that I couldn't wrap my head around. And I try not to. I used to suppress my emotions, but I'm trying to. I'm actually learning that once you are true to what you're feeling, once you allow yourself to be true to what you feel, it's easier to move forward instead of bottling it all up and then exploding. And I was in an explosive state for a long time, which is another reason why I couldn't let anybody else in except for the people that had already seen me explode, time and time and time again. Because I didn't want to scare off somebody that I loved. I wasn't ready to show anybody else these vulnerable pieces of me. And I was afraid of being judged, even though, you should accept people when they're at their lowest moments. But I was afraid, and I don't, I'm not afraid anymore, So balance yourselves and stay healthy. Food has a large part to play in your health, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Don't let anybody fool you. It has a lot to do with it, and that's another video. Actually, that's another topic for another day. But yeah. Be open to receiving love, and it will come your way. We all have to take an L. We gotta, all of us take an L sometimes. I think maybe I take a lot of them. But you just gotta get back up there, and we gotta keep pressing forward. So, all right, guys. Second video of the day. Until next time, I'll see you later.